I woke up slowly, not all at once, not like in the movies but in fragments. First came the sound, a slow, mechanical beep, then the weight in my chest, then the dryness in my mouth that felt like I had swallowed sand. When I tried to move, my body didn't answer me, and that was when I knew I wasn't home. The ceiling above me was white, too white, the kind of white that smells like disinfectant and quiet fear. I turned my head just enough to see the chair beside my bed, empty, and a coat draped over it. No half-finished coffee, no hand waiting for mine, just emptiness. And then I saw the paper, folded neatly, placed carefully, as if whoever left it wanted to make sure I would see it. I knew the handwriting before I even touched it. My husband's. My fingers trembled as I opened it. 4 words: pay for everything. Yourself. No, I'm sorry. No, I was scared. No, I'll be back. Just a sentence. That felt heavier than the machines keeping me alive. In that moment, something inside me went very still, not broken, still, like my heart was afraid that if it made a sound, it would shatter. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I focused on breathing because air mattered more than grief right then. I placed the note back down carefully, like it might explode if I wasn't gentle, and I whispered my name, Lillian, because I needed to remember who I was before I disappeared completely. I had survived the accident, but waking up alone, that was a different kind of pain. Before the hospital, before the crash, before the silence, I was the woman who held everything together: the calendars, the bills, the meals that arrived warm even when no one noticed. I believed love was proven through patience, that marriage meant carrying weight quietly. For years, I told myself distance was temporary. Late nights turned into early mornings. Smiles turned thin. Phones turned face down. He guarded his life, like I was an intruder instead of a partner. And I let it happen, because I believed staying mattered more than asking hard questions. Then the accident came. Metal, glass, darkness. And when the darkness lifted, he was gone. The door opened softly. A man stepped inside. Not a doctor, not a nurse, a stranger. He looked at my wristband, then at my face. Not surprised, prepared. He pulled a chair close, said my full name, and somehow, that steadied me. He asked if I felt strong enough to hear something important. I nodded, because at that point, truth felt safer than hope. He told me my husband had refused to sign responsibility forms, once, twice, and that refusal triggered a file connected to my late father. My chest tightened. At the sound of his name, the man explained, slowly, years ago, my father had created a trust, not out of fear, out of knowing me. He had said I gave too much, that if I ever fell, someone needed to make sure I didn't stay down. The trust would activate if I was injured or abandoned. That word settled into my bones. Abandoned. The hospital would be paid. Assets had already shifted. Protection was already in place. And suddenly, I wasn't begging for survival anymore. I was standing even while lying down. Later that day, my husband came, flowers from a grocery store, a smile that didn't reach his eyes. He spoke about stress, fear, pressure, about himself. Not once did he ask what it felt like to wake up alone. When he said, I didn't think you'd actually wake up and read it, something inside me closed forever, not with anger, with clarity. Days passed silently. I thought about my father, how he fixed things slowly, how he believed safety wasn't loud. Sometimes it was preparation no one noticed. I realized love doesn't always look like staying. Sometimes it looks like protection from afar. When I got home, the house was quiet, but not empty. It felt honest. I cooked a simple meal, sat by the window, and for the first time in years, I wasn't waiting. He came again. More apologies, more flowers. I handed him the envelope. Divorce papers. He said I was overreacting. I told him I had already done all the talking while he wasn't listening. I closed the door, softly. The silence afterward didn't hurt. It healed. I slept deeply, woke slowly, made tea, opened windows, watched light move across the floor. Healing didn't arrive loudly. It arrived quietly. In choosing myself. In standing without fear. In understanding that peace doesn't beg. It stays. If you are listening to this and you've ever been abandoned when you needed someone most, Know this: sometimes life removes people not to punish you but to protect you, and sometimes the greatest revenge is peace. If this story touched you, tell me where you're watching from and what part stayed with you. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe and stay with me.